Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, hi, this is Janvi Gosalia. I reside in Borivali, Mumbai. I have completed my graduation from Narsimonji College of Commerce and Economics. Speaking of I started my CA journey in 2017, and recently in May 2023, I have cleared my CA final exams. I have pursued my articleship from Borkar and Muzumdar, which is a 75-year-old firm with a partner capacity of total 19 partners, and the firm is basically specialized into finance sector. So talking of it, in the start of my articleship, I was basically into compliance certification by a multinational bank, which basically involved the mutual fund and insurance products which were sold by bank to its customer are within the internal policy and guidelines of the bank. Then moving ahead in my articleship, I was given an opportunity to work in the statutory audit, and I was placed into the team of advances. So in advances, I have covered from pre-sanctioning to post-disbursement of loans to monitoring of loans. And further coming ahead, I have also performed a audit of non-performing assets. Apart from performing assets, I've also looked for non-performing assets such as provisioning is as per IRAC norms or not, asset categorization is as per IRAC norms or not, the loan as proper securitization or not. And then moving ahead, there came the wave of COVID. And since we were central statutory auditors of a listed bank, so we had to also close down all the branches and regional offices. So in that, I have single-handedly closed the balance sheet of banks by performing certain variance analysis for P&L items. And for balance sheet, for advances, I spoke above, for from pre-sanctioning to post-disbursement to monitoring, I've checked all of that. Then for borrowings, we have taken certain balance confirmations from the bank as well. And then I have also been a part of the qualified institutional placement. My firm was a central statutory auditor of a listed entity. So we were the auditors of the issue. So in that, I have done certain work for checking the exposure of my firms, because there were various certificates by the bank which were to be issued to the SEBI, in which firm which my firm was central statutory auditors. So in that, I've checked the exposure of my firm, and as well as the figures in the certificates are proper or not. So this was a gist of my articleship. Moving ahead about certain other co-curricular activities, I am associated with an NGO, that is Srimad Rajchandra Love and Care. So for that NGO, we accept donations for animal care. For in animal care, I single-handedly perform all the tally entries for all the donations, and having a proper communication with the banks. I also worked with one more NGO, Srimad Rajchandra Divine Touch. In that NGO, I was teaching value-based education to many children on the life of different saints. So this is a gist of myself and my skills. I would like to say that I am a go-getter. Once I have an eye on anything, I won't stop until I get it. So yeah, this is just a brief about me.
Okay, just
Hoping for you to take the
yeah,
interview ahead.
yeah. Just a suggestion, okay. In this answer, okay, when the interviewer asks you, okay, tell me something about yourself, you can write it down
Yeah.
also. Make sure your answer
Yeah.
is within 1.5 minutes only. 1.5 minutes. It should not cross. And you are actually telling everything about what you have done in your article, see, okay. So that is a question they will ask you later on. If you say everything in the same answer, then they will not get
Got
opportunity to ask you different questions. So keep your
Okay.
answer, all the answers short and precise. Okay. And for this,
Hmm.
I will tell you, and for this, I will tell you that once, like, for example, you see my other videos as well, like, so that will help you once how to keep the answer short and precise. That is very important. Okay. So this is the
Okay.
something. Okay, no problem. Otherwise, your communication skill is not a problem. Okay, but answer should be short and precise so that it will look a little better. Okay. Next question.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to ask you the second question, but you said everything in this only. That's why that was been saying. Okay.
I can go into more detail if you
Yeah, yeah.
can.
And not really. Why should we hire you in the Citibank? I wanted to know this.
Okay, speaking about Citibank, your bank is a multinational bank and mainly into corporate sector. Recently, Citibank has sold its retail customer banking to Axis Bank. So your bank and the services, end-to-end customer services provided by your bank. Your bank has recently won certain awards in 2013, which were eye-catching as well. And the various kind of services from such as I was going through your website where I went to a certain thing where risk management was there. So in that you all provide a full overview to the customer, like from start, from identifying the risk, then from managing the risk. So the whole bond which you all create with the customers reflects that it will be it will, since I have not worked with Citibank earlier, I'm not aware about how it will be with the employees, but with the customers I saw on your website how you all connect to the customers, the bond which you maintain with your customers, and the services right from the scratch till maintenance of the thing. So that's what caught my eye, and I'm looking forward for it.
Okay. What is your greatest weakness that you feel that you have?
Yeah, so just as I mentioned in my strength, like I am a go-getter, I won't stop until I get what I want. If I am weak on certain point, I won't stop until I have full knowledge about it. So it's certain times that I end up spending too much of time, I would say, on unnecessary stuff just because I want to learn about the stuff.
Okay. Do you do anything to solve this problem?
Yeah, I sometimes when I am in my awareness, then I trigger the questions to myself that is this really in priority right now? Like the answer which I am looking for, is it the topmost priority? So certain point of time when it triggers me, I do prioritize my things.
Okay. What is the difference between budgeting and forecasting?
Okay. So budgeting is a roadmap of where a company wants to be. So for suppose if we are in 20 to 23, I will make a budget for the next year. So that is what budgeting, where I want to take my company. And forecasting is in the current scenario, what are the chances of me, like where will my company land in the current market scenario? For suppose if the June quarter has ended, so considering the June quarter, I will considering the market scenario, I will forecast that is my September quarter going to end well as what I had forecasted in the previous year. So that is what forecasting. That's what I can tell of now.
Okay. Now, next question. Like suppose you are getting hired in a Citibank, okay? What can we expect
Yeah.
from? What do you think is will be the role of yours in Citibank, and how will you contribute to our organization success?
If Citibank hires me, I would say that I would give my 100% because earlier also during my articleship days, uh, like I used to do the work even for which I was not supposed to do. Like for suppose I would give an example, I was into advances for non-performing assets. So I was just given the role like you have to do this, perform this calculation on Excel. But going out of the way, I read the IRAC circular and I just thought that what else could I contribute apart from my seniors telling me that we are doing this? What else could I contribute? So I would just tell one thing, like I would give some additional points, more added responsibility if Citibank hires me.
Yes. Next, okay. My question was actually also this point. I think you skipped that. If in case you get hired in Citibank, okay, what role can, what do you think will be a role out here? And how will you,
What role?
what do you think will be the role out here? Your role क्या होगा यहाँ पर में? What will be a role in Citibank? Do you think? आपको क्या काम करना पड़ेगा इधर में? If you join Citibank.
So my role is of financial planning and
Have you read
analysis
the
for
job
which,
description? Have you read the job
yeah,
description? Okay, तो क्या समझ
yes.
में आया? What you understood? Okay, yeah.
So basically I am a linkage for the top management and business departments. So I will work closely with the business departments, like what is the target, what are their expected expectations, and accordingly I'll draft a budget and forecasting, and I'll be a coordination, a bridging gap to CFO, which my reports will provide a a picture of the various departments to CFO, like what are the departments going through and how will it perform. So based on my reports and the communication given by departments to me, CEO or the CFO or any other senior management will take appropriate decisions in business further.
Okay. Like in the job description, it was written assist with the flash results. What do you understand by flash results?
As per my understanding, I think flash results are which needs to be updated frequently. That's what flash means.
How much frequently? What will be the frequency, do you think?
Depends on the bank requirement, but even it can also be day to day. If it is flash, I think it can also be day to day.
Okay. Why do a company will need budgeting and forecasting, do you think? Why it is so essential to do budgeting and forecasting? First budgeting, then
Yes.
forecasting. Yeah.
Yeah, so just as I mentioned, like a company is functioning, but where it has to go. So they need a budget, like to curb the expenses. There has to be some budget. So a company requires budgeting, and as I mentioned that we playing a role of linkage gap, a bridge between management and department. So that's the requirement of budgeting, and forecasting is to be acquainted with the markets. Like if I have made the budget, but it's been for I've made it before a year. So to weave in the terms with the market, I need forecasting department also to be with the current market scenario, what economy is going through, and yeah, that's what I think.
Mm. Right. Okay. What is the difference between top-down budgeting and bottom-up budgeting?
So in top-down budgeting, the budgets are prepared by the CEO, by the managers, CEO, CFO, and it's communicated to various business departments. So that's what is top-down budgeting. And in bottom-up budgeting, it's totally vice versa. The top level subordinate workers, the team managers, team leaders, they prepare the budget because they are functioning with the market. They know what's going on. So they prepare the budget and it's sent to approval for top level management, and when they approve the budget, we can say that it's a bottom up budget, bottom up approach.
Okay. And what is the difference between traditional budget and a rolling forecast?
So in traditional budget, I would say, like for a suppose 23-24 in October, I make a budget for the next year, next financial year. So that would, I will say, traditional annual budgeting. But in rolling forecast, for say for example, uh if it's basically my suppose first 1 month is completed in October, so for the next year again 1 month will be added to the next following year. So that's a rolling forecast
Uh,
budget.
Next question, like, what will be a typical budgeting process?
So I
What are the
think budgeting process has many steps. Like first, I would go to the respective business departments and I'll ask them what is required by them. Then I'll study the past history and trends, like what's going on in the nation, what's the inflation rate, the technology upgradations. Then I, keeping in all that in mind, I communicate that no, I can communicate those to the departments. No, we can do this, we can do that. So I'll communicate to the department. Then department will put in action, and accordingly the budget will be implemented and reviewed.
like, what is incremental versus zero-based budgeting?
Um, Incremental budgeting, I would tell. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so incremental budgeting is like I will, based on the past budget and my current expectations, or suppose if in my past budget my revenue was 1 million. So if I want this time expectation of 20% rise in my revenue, so keeping base as the previous year, I'll add a certain percentage to this year budget. That will be called as incremental budgeting. And zero based budgeting is like preparing budget totally from the scratch and not taking any previous budget as a base.
Okay. Why should we hire you? In case you get a better opportunity than Citibank and a better package, will you go there or you will stick to Citibank?
So talking about this question, I would say that like everyone, even I am exploring, but right now at current point, I'm exploring my opportunities. But right now at current point of time, I don't have any opportunities or anything in my hand right now, any offer on my hand. So if I get a yes from Citibank right now, like within a day or two, I would definitely go with Citibank.
This answer could be said in a better way. ठीक है, तो ये आंसर में आप
Okay.
ये करना कि this is the role which I've description I have gone through it, okay, or going to the description like this is one of my best profiles to get into. Citibank is my dream company. The job description is very exciting, and I feel that I have to invest my 30 years career into this. So it is not about just money, okay, 1 or 2 lakhs here and there, but it's about the work also. I should like the work also. So this profile is interesting. I always wanted to get into this domain, and that's why even if I get a few lakhs extra also somewhere else, okay, I would be very happy. I will stay here. You not say कि कुछ अभी option नहीं है हाथ में तो ये वाला है, तो this will be a wrong mistake you will be making, ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
एंड वाई शुड बी हायर यू? दो क्वेश्चन था, आप दो क्वेश्चन सुना नहीं, जैसे मैं बोला आप थोड़ा सा ध्यान दीजिएगा। इंटरव्यू में क्या होगा, दे विल आस्क यू 2 क्वेश्चन एट द सेम टाइम। आप हमेशा सेकंड क्वेश्चन का पहले जवाब देने का कोशिश कर रहा था, तो हमें ये गलती होता है, सबसे होता है ये। तो दो क्वेश्चन हम पूछा था, वाई शुड
Okay.
बी हायर यू, और सेकंड क्वेश्चन पूछा ये वाला। आपने सेकंड क्वेश्चन का जवाब दे दिया पर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर आप भूल गया देना। ये होता है, टेंशन
ठीक.
में होता है, ठीक है? तो इसलिए कभी कभी दो क्वेश्चन पूछता है, तो हमेशा याद रखिएगा सीरियली में जाना है, यू हैव टू गो सीरियली। फर्स्ट वाई शुड बी हायर यू, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दिस, आई टेल यू दिस आंसर, देन सेकंड कमिंग टू द सेकंड क्वेश्चन। तो ये थोड़ा सा आप थोड़ा सा
हाँ, हाँ.
इम्प्रूव करेगा, ठीक है? व्हाई शुड वी हायर यू?
Okay. So talking, why should you hire me? I just as I said, I'm a go-getter, and I have in my I have an exposure of in articleship of my financial plan, financial reporting exposure in my articleship. So I think this role will also be a great fit for me, and I will be able to showcase my skills better. Plus, speaking about financial planning and analysis, I think we all students have been doing this in our lives, financial planning, studying 8 papers in giving exam of 8 papers in 12 days requires a lot of planning. So I think I am made up for this thing now. So, and this the job description is really what fits me. So that's why.
ठीक है, इसका आंसर मैं आपको इस सेशन के बाद दूंगा। दिस ऑल्सो आंसर कुड बी रिफाइंड, व्हाई डू वी हायर यू, ठीक है? तो दिस
Hmm.
बिहेवियर रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन में आपको थोड़ा काम करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? तो दिस इज द थिंग दैट यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन इट, ओके?
Okay.
आई थिंक सो इट वाज गुड, ओके, ओवरऑल इट वाज गुड। दो तीन चीज आपको इम्प्रूव और करना है। मेरा रहेगा, आप जो चश्मा पहना है वो भी थोड़ा सा पतला पहनने का कोशिश करिएगा, मेरा ये भी रहेगा। ये थोड़ा सा बहुत वो होता है प्रोफेशनल लेवल में, थोड़ा आपको और अच्छा लगेगा, लेंस कार्ड का टाइप का वो। सेकेंड थिंग,
Okay.
अगर मैं हेयर का भी बोलूँ तो वो बैक होना चाहिए, आपका आगे नहीं आना चाहिए। तो ये दो तीन चीज थोड़ा सा पर्सनैलिटी वाइज आप इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। बाकी दिस आर द थिंग्स,
Hmm.
आपका पीछे का बैकग्राउंड वगैरह बहुत अच्छा है, तो दैट इज वेरी गुड। तो दैट इज, मेरे हिसाब से अब ये चीज तो मेरे को पता है ये आप करेगा, कि जब आप
Hmm.
इंटरव्यू में जाएगा तो ब्लैक ब्लेजर, टाई, कोट, टाई नहीं जरूरी है, व्हाइट शर्ट, ये सब चीज होने से अच्छा रहेगा। एज मच एज पॉसिबल ब्लैक ब्लेजर होना चाहिए, अगर नहीं है तो वो इंटरव्यू में इट हैज टू बी। अभी आप जो पहना है वो इनफॉर्मल हो गया, पर इंटरव्यू में ये सब चीज मैं पहले बता के रखा हूँ, ये सब चीज करने का कोशिश करिएगा कि ब्लैक ब्लेजर, व्हाइट शर्ट, इट शुड बी परफेक्टली प्रोफेशनल। समझ रहे हैं ना?
Okay.
बैकग्राउंड पीछे का बहुत अच्छा है आपका, ये सब चीज भी आप इम्प्रूव करेगा पर्सनैलिटी वाइज। बाकी और कुछ नहीं है।
Okay.
लाइट थोड़ा अगर और थ्रो हो आपका, लाइट थोड़ा सा और थ्रो हो सकता है, जैसे आप कुछ रख दिए तो लाइटिंग थोड़ा और आ सकता है आपका चेहरा पे, दैट ऑल्सो कैन बी इम्प्रूव,
Okay.
सम रिंग लाइट और समथिंग लाइक दैट। अदरवाइज लाइटिंग इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम। और चश्मा का मैंने आपको बोला छोटा पहनेंगे तो ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा, ये जो चीज है। और हेयर्स आपका पीछे होना चाहिए, और हेयर्स आपका टाइड होने से और अच्छा रहेगा, कुछ खुल के नहीं रहना चाहिए,
Okay.
ठीक है? ये छोटा छोटा चीज पर्सनैलिटी का पार्ट होता है, जो कि मतलब वो आदमी अनकॉन्शियसली करता है, बट आप क्योंकि वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के साथ बैठेगा तो दे विल चेक ईच एंड एवरी एस्पेक्ट, ओके? कोम रख मतलब टाई अप करके रखना, ये सब चीज आई टोल्ड यू ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन, एंड ड्रेसिंग सेंस, ये सब चीज में आपको फॉर्मल रहना है एकदम, ठीक है। बाकी कम इंग्लिश इज वेरी गुड, एवरीथिंग इज गुड। टेक्निकल नॉलेज मैं आपको बाद में इसका फीडबैक दे दूंगा इस सेशन के बाद,
सर
ठीक है।
टेक्निकल नॉलेज के लिए मैं अभी क्या प्रिपेयर करूँ फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग एंड
मैं
एनालिसिस में?
हाँ मैं आपको फोन में बता दूंगा, ठीक है, ये वाला में, ठीक है, ओके। क्योंकि मीटिंग ऐसे ही खत्म हो जाएगा इसलिए हाँ।